If you really want to get to know someone, spend 4 hours with them on a golf course. Well, that's just what World Golf Hall of Famer Amy Alcott did. The result is her new book, The Leaderboard, Conversations on Golf and Life. Good morning, Amy.
So good to be with you, Julie.
So good to have you in our studio. I'm going to get a putting lesson in a minute.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to turn you into an A golfer.
We'll see. Wow. Then you're a magician, too, not only a Hall of Famer. You have spent, what, 3 experiences on the golf course with Bill Clinton. You've played golf with him 3 times.
Yeah, I had a wonderful opportunity to do that.
What did you learn about him?
Well, he likes to see people do well, because it came out in the newspaper after I met with him or played golf with him that I shot 29, which at that time was 7 under par, 6 under par for 9 holes, and people said, "Is that a newspaper score, or does he just did he give you a lot of putts?" And he did. He gave me a lot of short putts, but I did play pretty well that day. So much, you know, I just think he likes to see people do well. But he's a very serious golfer, but he really got better when he left the presidency. He was a much more relaxed golfer then.
You interviewed him for your book. What did he say about life and golf and how the two are intertwined?
Well, he said you really better be able to accept mistakes, which is a big part of golf, you know, because this
and life
and life, golf and life, the game really does, it ebbs and it flows, and you have to be able. Nobody hits all the greens. Nobody is really consistent. The pros are, but for amateur golfers, that's a tough thing.
You've also played golf with Jack Nicholson, and he opened up to you. He never gives interviews, and he let you interview him for your book. What did you learn about him through the interview and through playing golf with him?
Well, you know, Jack is a very private man, and I see him at the golf course all the time, and he just likes to play golf by himself, and he does, you know, he said in the book he had a big temper. He had to get past that, but he's a great athlete, and he hits the ball well, but he takes it really seriously.
And he didn't start taking it up till in his 50s, right?
Yeah, he makes a couple comments in there about, you know, the game and how he loved all kinds of team sports. You know, of course he loves basketball, but golf, you know, is always the difficult sport for people to take up. It's the toughest thing to master, and people who do things and they do them really well, they find golf just so tempting because they want to master it, and it's not a sport you can master. You may conquer it for a day or 2, but you know, you don't master it.
That's why it drives people crazy. All right,
drives you nuts.
I'm going to make my first, not my first attempt at putting, but you tell me what I'm doing right or wrong.
Okay. Well, what I like, go ahead and hit one putt for me. Let me see how you hit it. Back and through. Okay, now hit me one. That's not bad. Look, it throws the ball right back.
I know.
I love it.
I think you should do one. Let's just see how the pros do it. You
want
come
me to
around.
Flip around here?
Yeah.
Go show you.
Let me get this out of the way.
Okay. All right. I'll hit one right here. Let's see if I can make it. Well, I didn't even make it.
Well, I don't feel so bad now. You want to do another one?
Yeah, let me hit another one.
Yeah, you have to.
You didn't tell me it breaks to the left.
There you go. Hall of Famer, Amy Alcott. Way to go. The Leaderboard.
Thank you.
Conversations on golf and life.
I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed writing it. It was
really
great.
Fun. You learn a little bit about all these famous people. They're short chapters and
little vignettes.
Yeah.
And it's about how golf intersected with their life and what's compelled them to play it and what drives them to enjoy it so much.
Thank you so much, Amy.
My
Always
pleasure,
good to see
Julie.
you. All right, well, to read an excerpt from the Leaderboard, go to our website, earlyshow.cbsnews.com. And now let's head back to Maggie.
Nice job, Jules. Thank you. The state of the housing market affects every investor, every homeowner, and prospective buyer out there. So Early Show financial contributor Vera Gibbons is here this morning to tell us which areas of the country are stabilizing and which one are not quite there yet. Good morning, Vera.
Good morning, Maggie.
So what are you hearing from the experts? Are we at the bottom yet?
Well, I'm sure you saw the foreclosure data that was out yesterday, up 24% in the first quarter. Unfortunately, more foreclosures in the pipeline, 3 million potentially this year. So that is going to continue to depress prices. Prices are already 30% off their peaks in 2006, could drop another 10%. But the good news that we're hearing is that there is a bit of a thawing going on in the housing industry. Some of these buyers are getting off the sidelines. We have all these government programs working their way through the system. So The economists I talked to yesterday from moodyseconomy.com and Standard & Poor's say that a bottom is in fact nearing. We could potentially hit bottom sometime in late 2009.
And that's especially true in some cities. Let's bring up the map.
Especially true in some cities, right?
Let's
it's all scattered throughout the different
where
areas.
the bleeding maybe is almost over.
If you look at these areas where you didn't have this huge run-up in prices, that's where we're either near a bottom, close to a bottom. So a lot of the Texas markets, for example, Dallas, Austin, Houston, these types of markets, because you didn't have this huge bubble that just burst to begin with. So that's one area. In the Northeast, looking at the Boston market, which fell relatively early, some signs of stability there coming back to the market. Yes, the financial sector has gotten hit very hard, but nowhere near the way it did in New York, for example. Pittsburgh, another area. And the thing that's interesting about Pittsburgh is that everyone thinks, oh, steel country, manufacturing city, but healthcare is the big booming industry there. If you look at the University of Pittsburgh, that healthcare, that medical center employs 40,000 people. So this is one area that is always on those lists of where the job growth is in 2009. So those are the ones that are near a bottom, at a bottom, close to a bottom.
All right, now let's give the bad news. If you live in these cities, you probably still have a long way.
A ways off in these.
Well, but it might be a good time to buy a house.
Exactly.
The prices keep going down. Let's look at it that way.
Exactly. Well, if you look at the California markets, I mean, those have been struggling. In San Francisco, for example, look at Phoenix. The median price of a home there is $125,000 right now. Las Vegas, of course, continuing to take hits. Miami, which was an area that totally overbuilt.
Yes,
your
I know
hometown.
it well.
I mean, you know it well. So in these areas, people are actually jumping in and buying because the prices are 40–50% off where they were just a year ago. All these foreclosed properties, unfortunately, the foreclosed properties are going to continue to drag down prices again for a while. The experts I talked to yesterday say it's probably a year or so off from these markets actually bottoming out. And then finally, if you look at New York, right there, and Charlotte, the banking hub, I mean, these are areas that are